So good evening, everyone, and welcome to January. Is it? Yes, it is January. January's top team and friends meeting. So this is very much and friends as well. We've got a few other people from other teams who are very, very welcome here this evening. And I know we were doing these sort of very regularly in lockdown, and then we sort of stopped a bit and got a bit out of kilt. So my plan is, so you can get this in your diary, to do this on the second Monday of every month. All right, so second Monday of every month to have an online team meeting like this. And for those local people, I know it's Stuart's plan still to have the face-to-face team meeting the first Monday of every month. All right, so that's the one that's in Weston-super-Mare that was cancelled last time. If you haven't seen the new link for that, I will hunt it down and post it again so that we can all book back in. And I know Claire Hingot's coming in February to talk to us all, which would be lovely. So who've we got? Good evening. Hi, Laura. You all right? Hi, Alan. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So again, because this is going to become a regular thing, it would be great if you could give me some feedback of what sort of training things you would like us to cover, all right, in this meeting. So tonight's a bit of a general one. I am going to talk a bit about scripts and things this evening and a few things like that. But, you know, if there's anything specific you would like me to cover or someone else to cover in these meetings, and we'll definitely be getting some guests to join us as well, all right, as we make it a more regular thing and buddying up with people. So it's all about sharing information. So first of all, for those that are watching it who aren't here this evening, I'd like to say a very, very warm welcome to anybody who has joined the team or our friends teams over the last few weeks. So obviously December is normally a little bit quieter as everyone enjoys the festive period, but now January we are starting to kick off and get busier again, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name's Celia Gadd, as you can see on the screen, and I've actually been in the business now for nearly 13 years. I can't believe that. So in 2 weeks' time, it's 13 years ago I was first shown this business, and to start with, thought it looked too good to be true. So if you're new and looking at this, that's quite a normal thing to think. And then I realized that you actually did have to do some work. But that work for me is a lot easier than the work I was doing in the past, which was mucking out and riding lots and lots of horses every day and teaching and writing a magazine and doing all sorts of stressful things. So actually, this business is fabulous. It really is fabulous, because all we actually have to do is talk to people and show them something that actually can help them. So when you put it into perspective like that, we don't half overcomplicate it, don't you think? When that's all we actually have to do is just show people some stuff. And it literally is say less to more people and you will be successful in this business, because it's all about just trying to get them in front of the presentation. So as I said, 13 years ago I started, didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was running around the country with a little paper form and a booklet, because we didn't have a website or anything swanky like that back then. And I just went and bought some friends some wine, had a chat with them, and a few of them became customers, and that's sort of how it started. But I will be pleased to say that about 50 customers I signed up in year one, and I think about 33 of those are still customers today, which just goes to show that the business does really work long term. And obviously when you get paid every month, that's fantastic. It's lovely to see Barbie on here tonight, because Barbie joined the business quite a long time ago. And the great thing about this business is, you know, you can put it down and pick it up depending on what life throws at you. And so that's why we had our first leadership meeting last week. And I said how important it is to keep in touch with everybody that's, you know, you've ever introduced to the business, whether they joined or not. Keep in touch, because one thing we do know is that life does throw all sorts of curveballs and things at us over the years, and everybody's situation is constantly changing. And if you don't keep in touch with people, you're never going to know. So if the time's not right for them, then it might well be in the future. Or sometimes, I mean, Jane and Barbie actually both, I can say, you know, joined and started for a bit, and then for whatever reason stopped, and then, you know, come back again. So that's why you know, it's really important to sort of keep in touch with people and keep the door open with everybody as well. So we're going to be doing on these meetings some recognition, some information, some top tips, etc., etc. So we're just going to dive straight in with a little bit of recognition tonight. I haven't gone right through December and done top customer gatherers and recruiters and all that sort of thing, but we will start that from now on. So if you're on the leaderboard for customers or recruiters in January, then be prepared to have a shout out in the February meeting. But for tonight, there's just a couple of people I would like to really, well, 4 people I want to recognise this evening, and I hope they're ready to say a few words because I haven't prepped them for this, so that's very mean. So firstly, we had 2 new team leaders since our last team meeting. So firstly is Sally Marshall. So can we say a big round of applause for Sally Marshall? Sally, I know you're poorly and this is mean and you've had an operation and all sorts, but can you just give us a very, very quick words, like your background and, you know, how you got introduced to the business? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. So I work in admin in Salisbury District Hospital for the NHS. My partner lives in Yeovil, so I was actually recruited in Yeovil by Claire, and I did the usual. I'm sure most of your customers or people that you've recruited go, oh, she ain't gonna ever come back. And you know, we didn't. Claire had to cancel coming to see me, and then she did come. And then while Claire and God, I can't remember what, my brain's a bit fuzzled at the minute. So yeah, Claire and Kate came to Salisbury, and I signed up as a customer, and then they were talking about the actual partner bit, and I just went, oh, do you know what? Let's just go for it. So I did. And yeah, and then because I help out with a youth group and everything, I was the month of February. So I signed up in January. February, I was really busy because we were doing a play. So Claire kept messaging me, get on with your training. I'm like, yeah. You know, so she probably thought I was the worst one altogether. And yeah, after that, I signed up, and I was really lucky because my family have been really supportive, and I've managed to get my family on board. And, you know, Claire's helped me build my team up and everything, met loads of lovely people. Unfortunately, got COVID a couple of times, so missed out on both the meetings when they were going. Yeah, so hopefully at some point we're going to get to see each other again, which would be brilliant. And did come to the meet up, which was cancelled, but we all still went anyway when we first met.
Yeah, lovely.
So that was really good. So yeah, brilliant.
That's right, because I remember that's when I first met you, and I said, I know you're going to stick around. I knew you were going to stick around as soon as we met you. So that was when we all went to Express Day. That wasn't Express Day because of COVID, but we went anyway because we were very naughty, and it was much fun for the weekend. But of course, we have Power Up, which is on my list to talk about tonight. So we have Power Up March the 19th, 20th. So really hope that we will get to see, you know, all of us meet up then. That'd be fantastic. So well done, Sally. That's really awesome. Team leaders, a great achievement. You know, it really is. It's about helping some team members and helping, you know, some people save money and starting to step into that leadership position, which we're talking about on our Leadership Academy now, which is absolutely fantastic. So really, really well done. And we have another team leader who became team leader just in December. So Julie, over to you. Well done. Round of applause to Julie, team leader. Fantastic. So Julie, come on, give us a little bit about your background and how you got to be here.
So I used to be a primary school teacher back along, then I stopped to have children, and after Tyler was born I got really ill. Eventually they diagnosed me with fibromyalgia, and it turned out that I wasn't going to be able to go back to teaching, so I sulked for about 3 years. I was pretty lost, didn't know what to do. Teaching was the only thing I ever wanted to do. And then I bumped into Mark Tilley at a fibro fair, funnily enough, and he came over and he showed us everything, and we signed up as a customer straight away, and Stu basically said, you can do this, Julie. So after a month of sort of pondering it, I did finally sign up as a partner, and I really did it for the pizza. I remember those first 6 months, I was really motivated by the Pizza Tuesdays, and I was on every single one in that first 6 months. And I remember saying to Jodie on one of those Pizza Express nights that I didn't want to become team leader. I wasn't interested in team leader. I was just happy signing a few customers. And I said that because I didn't think I could do it. And so amazing. All those people who don't think you can do it, I'm proof that you can. It took me a while, don't get me wrong, but I do work this incredibly part-time around my health, but I got there eventually, and I'm proper proud of myself.
And we're very proud of you too. And you're not stopping there, Mrs. You know, that's just a start. That's just a start. That's a really good point, because we've been talking a lot about goal setting obviously this month, and about how easy it is to let yourself off the hook by saying things like that to yourself, letting those mind monkeys say, actually, I don't really want it anyway, so I'm just not going to go for it. You know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen. But you've been brilliant. And Julie and Sally, you know, such supportive members of the team, you know, come to everything you can. And that's what it's about. It's about turning up, isn't it? Showing up for yourself, showing up for your team, and being visible and consistent. So you've done really well. Okay, so I would like to mention somebody else as well, who's another amazing member of the team, who has just a few days ago hit Flying Club. So big round of applause to Lorraine. Well done, Lorraine. I know it's been driving you mad, just tipping over that extra customer. So Lorraine, just explain how you got introduced and how it's worked for you.
I had this mad woman chasing me at preschool for a while on a regular basis. I can't remember her name, Celia, I think it was. I think it took you about 2 years to get me down.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
And I signed up as a customer and a partner on the same night, literally on the same night, which was just bonkers. And it was in the February, it was nearly 5 years ago now.
Was it? Yeah.
And we had Piggy Fest. We had to get 3 customers to get to Piggy Fest for May, and I was determined to do it. So off I went and got those 3 customers, and then it's taken me another 4.5 years to get to 20.
It doesn't matter though, does it? It doesn't matter at all. You've got there now, but you have been focusing more on the team, haven't you, in all fairness, recently, rather than personal customers. So, and while Lorraine may say it's taken her that long to get 20 personal customers, we were looking at her figures the other day, and you're actually very close to senior team leader. So, it's it's going to be an interesting next few months for you. So well done. Okay, and then the last person I'd like to give a big shout out for tonight is our best newcomer of the last month, which is Laura. So Laura, massive well done to you. I've been mentoring Laura. She's been an absolute amazing person to mentor. So she's now got 7 customers, including one of her own, which means she's graduated within the 45 days, which is absolutely awesome. So Laura, tell us how you came about to be in the business and how you're finding it so far.
Okay, so been a customer for about 10 years. So I did actually try the business back in the beginning as well, a long time ago. It wasn't really the right time for me. So yeah, just left it there. So I've been bookkeeping, running an office for last 6 or 7 years. Not really enjoying it lately, and wanted something different. So went along to a Mums in Business meeting where Celia was, and listened to some of the girls there talking about UW, and it just seemed like now actually would be a really good time, and kind of seeing how things had changed as well, it seemed even better than it was before. And I'm in that position of looking for something to replace the job. Yeah, it's just perfect.
Brilliant. You've been great. The
support has been amazing though, from obviously you guys, the groups, and even the portal. I'm loving it. So having lots of fun.
Good. Absolutely fantastic. No, it's fantastic. And I have to tell you all into a little secret is that Laura actually approached me. So she sent me a message saying, do you think I could do UW again? And I was like, yes, you absolutely could. And I literally was, she was sort of on my list because of a couple of things she'd said at the Mums in Business meeting, but I knew that we were going to see you all the time. And I knew that it didn't have to be a quick, jump on that person. So it was just one of those ones. But yeah, this goes to show, keep spreading the word and people will find you as well. Good. Okay. So obviously this year, well, not obviously, there's some people on here that maybe haven't been in the business for a little while. So we've had an incredible couple of years considering, that's the way to describe it, I think, considering the pandemic, considering how many people haven't had such a great couple of years. I think we have all done really well. The team grew huge, didn't it, last year in lockdown because we were all recruiting away. But to be honest, the market was quite difficult and has been quite difficult for the last 4 or 5 years. Of course, we didn't tell you that at the time. But everyone's telling you that now that it's changed, which is quite funny. But all those, we had 47 energy companies or something like that, wasn't it? And they're all very competitive, lots of cheap prices and all this. And I don't want to bore you with the energy crisis because it's all over the news, but that those, 40 odd companies have now shrunk right down to around 20 with still lots more in trouble. So we are now very, very well placed in the market, price wise, and sort of reputation and brand and trust of UW is absolutely going through the roof. So for the first time, probably ever, if you go put utility warehouse into Google, the whole of the first page of Google is positive stuff about utility warehouse. Now, I don't say that because we've been an awful company in the past. I say that because we weren't investing correctly in almost the right marketing team at head office to combat some of the stuff that comes up, particularly when you're talking about network marketing, and there's a lot of people out there that just want to slag it off. And there was that one very annoying article that we all know that kept popping up, that said you could only ever earn £10 if you're a partner of UW. That's it, you can only ever earn a tenner, which is a very annoying article and completely untrue. So, but head office now, the marketing team at head office are absolutely superb. Matt Roskell, some of you will have heard from him at some of the kickoffs that we've been having at the recent events. I've met Matt several times, but they are just on it. Their team are absolutely superb. So I'm really excited because I think this is just the beginning. If you could imagine speaking to everybody and there not being any negativity around the business that could be found pretty much anywhere, that makes our job so much easier, doesn't it? Because people are still skeptical, they're bound to be, and they're going to go off and do their own research, which is absolutely fine, but it's really getting much, much better. So we've got that, we've got the fact that we know, they were saying today, weren't they, that energy prices are going to go up 50%, 52% or something in April. It's going to be ouch for a lot of people. And I'm not saying our prices aren't going to go up, but we've got lots of ways, haven't we, of reducing that bill for people. We've still got things like the cashback card, we've got the referral bonus for customers, and of course we've got the business opportunity. So if you show people the business opportunity, how easy do you think it would be for them to pay that energy bill, just by doing a little bit of work, a couple of hours work? And that could be a game changer for so many people. So we've really got to do that. Obviously inflation, we've still got the pandemic. And an interesting thing as well is that there are more jobs available right now than there have been for years. Actually, in the job market, there's less unemployed people because people don't want to more and more people are realizing there's more to life than working in a job that you don't want to do. I think the furlough system and the fact that the government did give out a lot of money to help people has now still having a bit of a knock-on effect that I don't think our recruitment is quite like it was at the beginning of the pandemic when people were panicking. But very, very soon, people are going to realize that if they want more, they need to go and do something different. If you want things to change, you've got to change some things. And we literally need to be there banging on everybody's door and saying, do you know about this thing? Have you seen what we can do? Have you seen what we can do for you? Because it really is incredible. A few things have changed with the mentoring as well. As Laura's just said, the mentoring and now and getting new partners off to a flying start is completely different to how it was, a few years ago. For us to be paid to mentor as well and to be able to earn some money, get some extra points and things like that is absolutely fabulous. And obviously, like Laura's done, she's got her 6 customers, which means she now gets paid in full. So she hasn't had to give away any of her money. So that's really, really good. Okay, mindset generally is the thing, isn't it? That's the difference between the people that are successful and the people that aren't. I believe it is. I think you can learn the skills, you can learn how to do the presentation, you can make as many calls as you want, you can put in as much activity as you want, but if you do not believe it can happen for you, guess what, you're probably right. And that's why it's frustrating when so many people start and get knocked out very quickly. So really thinking about that, your self-limiting beliefs, what is the biggest thing challenging you? And what's the biggest reason that you're not further on than you were in the business? Because I bet if you really hold a mirror up and look in the mirror, it'll be something going on in here rather than anything else. It might be lack of consistency as well, because that's a big one, isn't it? We all know that, you've got to be really consistent. So many of you will have seen my post last night about suddenly deciding to go for Sri Lanka in a bit more of a way. So the reason I did that, A, because I fancy a holiday in Sri Lanka, but B, because I sort of did the sums and realized that everyone in our team, even if you got 0 points, could get to Epsom. And what an amazing day. Right, just put your hand up on here if you were at Epsom last time we went there. So Ros, can you just come on a minute, Ros? Just tell us, what was Epsom like?
Hello.
Yeah.
It was incredible. When on earth do you ever see me in a posh frock the fascinator? Yeah, it was a funny sight. But it was the most fabulous day. There was about 1,200 of us in this amazing enclosure on Tapman Corner, free food and drink all day. We each had betting slips. I went home with more money than I went with. I met so many people which I hadn't met before. Everybody was friendly, and we had just the bestest day. So do whatever it takes, but get there.
So it's 10 points to get to Epsom by the end of January. And if you do 25 points, then it's an overnight stay as well. Who has already got their Epsom ticket? Anybody else? So, oh, Claire, well done. Well done. Was that, yeah, brilliant. Is that overnight as well, Claire? Yet?
No, and that was from last year or
Yeah.
whenever, rather than the current promotion.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you didn't get the overnight last time, you know, you can still upgrade that by getting 25 points this time.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of time. And obviously points are now for recruiting as well as for signing up homeowners or supporting sign up homeowners. So why not just give it your best shot? And as I said last night, you know, if it all goes wrong and you don't actually achieve it, have you failed?
No.
Well, no, you haven't, because you'll be further on than you were before. And I know that a lot of this is about having a pipeline. And a lot of you will not have the sort of pipeline that I've got, because I've been in the business for 13 years consistently. So if you think, and if I were more organized than I was, I'd even better pipeline. But can you imagine how many people I've probably shown or spoken to in 13 years about the business? You know, it's just absolutely nuts. But the point is, it doesn't matter where you are on that journey, you will have people that you have spoken to. If you're newer on the journey, I feel that you've almost got the better shot, because you've got lots of people that you haven't spoken to yet. You know, so you've still got people on your list that are fresh that you can go and show this to right now. So since Sunday morning, when I made that decision, I have contacted 83 people. I just worked out just before we came on the call. So 83 people I have reached out to in some way or another, in an individual private message. A couple of people I've spoken to on the phone, but mostly that's been messaging. And I've got 9 people now looking at the business as a result of that activity. However, that means 74 people, if my maths is right, have either ghosted me or said no thank you. So where do you think I feel at the moment? Do you think I'm up here or down here because of the ghosting and no thank yous, or do you think I'm happy about the 9 appointments?
I'd be happy about the appointments.
Yeah, but if I'd only contacted 10 people and I only had 1 appointment in the diary, would I maybe not be feeling so happy? Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, you know, you may not have 84 people you could reach out to. All I did was put prospect into my mobile phone, because whenever I've spoken to anybody at any time, probably not right back 30 years ago, but certainly for the last few years, if they are a prospect, whether I've spoken to them or shown them a presentation or not or whatever, I've just put the word prospect into my mobile phone by their name. So all I did was go through those people, but I also keep notes in my phone about when I spoke to them last. Or obviously if you're contacting them on Messenger or WhatsApp, there will be a train, won't there, of your conversation. Mm-hmm. So that's where these mobile phones are so useful these days. Now, some of you will be super organized and you'll have it all in the planner and you'll write everybody and then you'll write loads of notes. I'm not super organized, but I managed to do that really within a couple of hours. You know, contact all those people, have some idea what the last conversation was, and just pick it up from there. So I wanted to talk about a bit about scripts tonight, because I will share, I'm going to do some screenshots of some of the conversations I've had, and I'll put them in the Facebook group. All right, so look out for that. So I will put some of the sort of scripts, and, you know, you'll see some of the answers into the Facebook group, so you can all see those. But I wanted to talk more about you thinking of your own scripts rather than everyone just cut and pasting things that other people write. Because when people say to me, what script do you use? I never use the same script. You know, so if I pick up my phone to do that sort of contacting, I would never use the same script that I've used in the past. I'm always thinking, what do I want to get out of this conversation? You know, what's the outcome? Because that's the first thing. So just write that down. What's the outcome of the message that you want to send? Because this is the basis of a script, is that you want to stick to something so that you don't waffle on and say too much. Say less to more people, as Steve Critchley says. So what's the outcome? So for some of these ones, my outcome was I wanted to talk to them about becoming a partner, because that's how we started the initial conversation. But today, obviously, I've been thinking points. So some of them were more because I wanted to think about them being a customer and being a homeowner customer. So I'm not suggesting you all do this on your main feed, and it depends what groups you're in and where you're allowed to post. But I just put, it's all right, Kate, I think we had, yeah, Lorraine's let her in. Thank you, Kate. I just put in one of the main groups, 2 groups actually that I'm in with a lot of people in. I just put, is anybody in here a homeowner who lives in the UK? All right, so I just put that into a Facebook group. One of them's got 70,000 people in it. One of them's got 9,000 people in it. And I obviously had quite a few people say yes, they didn't know what it was. So then I private messaged them, and I was just completely honest on the private message and said, look, excuse the random approach. I'm a few customers short of qualifying for a holiday with my business. I just really, want a favor, really. Just wondered if you had 15 minutes this week so I could show you what it's all about. Absolutely no obligation. However, it might well help you save a bunch of money. That's pretty much what I put, something like that. And I've got three times in the diary this week to chat to people on the back of that. But I had several people say, no, thank you. No, thank you. But that's fine. It's absolutely fine. The no thank yous are fine. That's just like, do you want tea or coffee? No, thanks. I'm all right. Actually, I'll just have a glass of water. It's fine. So that was just one thing I've done, but mostly it was going back to people that I've already spoken to. And if you do use Facebook Messenger for contacting people, a really good tip, and I have said this before, I know, to some of you, is go on to Messenger and just see who's live on Messenger. So if you go to Messenger, you can click the little button that shows you who's actually on there right now, and live and with their phone in their hand. And they're a good place to start if you're starting up a conversation or having a chat, because they're much more likely to respond to you. But I can't tell you what to say to all your friends in Messenger, can I? Because every single one of them you will have a different relationship with, depending on how you know them. If you don't know them, so I've had loads and loads of friend requests recently on Facebook, because I'm a member of certain networking groups, and they're encouraging people to network, and I pretty much accept them unless they look like a dodgy bloke who's naked, or someone that's not got a profile photo, or usually I've got quite a few mutual friends or something like that. That's why I would accept them. And if they've reached out to me to be their contact and they don't know me, it's usually because they're going to try and sell me something, isn't it? Or they're going to try and, find out what I do and strike up a conversation. So with those people today, I've been quite direct with some of them and just put, look, really thanks for connecting with me on Facebook. I don't know that we've ever met. What is it you do? And just started the conversation like that as well. So that's just another way of starting to talk to some different people. So it would be really great, because again, I'm trying very hard this year not to do everything for everybody. I'm trying really hard to encourage you lot to get your brains in gear and think about actually what you're doing, how you're approaching people, how you're speaking to people, because I know long term that's serving you much better than me just giving you a bunch of scripts for you to cut and paste into your phones and send out without giving it any thought. So if I share some of my scripts in the Facebook group, would you all promise me that you'll pop some scripts in there as well that will help each other out? You've got bags of them. If you've been to the kickoffs this weekend, you'll all have bags of scripts written down, some that you'll like, some that you won't. Big Al, did anyone see Big Al on Saturday at the South kickoff? He's brilliant, isn't he? Have you got an electricity bill? Would it be okay if it was smaller? You can go as basic as you like with this stuff, or you can get a little bit more complex with it. But I think mostly we overcomplicate it. Has anybody got a script now they'd like to share that they wrote down at the weekend?
Yeah.
Go for it, Roz. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one the other day. I was walking back with the dog, met one of the neighbours, quick chit chat. God, was it you I met just before Christmas who wanted to speak to me about the electric bill because she knew the prices were going up? I knew perfectly well it wasn't her.
That's very sneaky, but good.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
because I said I met somebody walking a dog who wanted me to look at their electric bill after Christmas, and for the life of me I couldn't remember if it was you. And she said, well, no, it wasn't me, but actually.
That's brilliant. I love that. I love that one. That's really good.
You can do it on anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can remember dogs, but I'm hopeless at remembering people. But was it you? Because I feel really bad I haven't got back to you, knowing perfectly well it wasn't.
Barbie, can you hear me? Can you speak or not? Don't if it's difficult for you, but I just wondered if you, because dog walking sprung to mind then with you. I don't know, she's probably cooking tea, so it doesn't matter.
My dog's gonna look like a chihuahua the amount of times that gets dragged around the village.
Because Barbie, who's on here tonight, when she joined the business, she came over from the Channel Islands and didn't know anyone here, and she actually got over 80 personal customers, and a lot of those were through chatting to people dog walking. There she is. Are you eating? Sorry,
I am, I'm sorry.
So lovely to see you. Hello. I hope you don't mind, but I just remember you got loads of customers from just chatting to people walking the dog, didn't you, when you joined?
Yeah, it's just over fences, and it was me getting to know the neighborhood, and we might as well chat, and what do I do and what do you do and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I mean, there's nothing quite like dogs to sniff other dogs, are there? I mean, children that tend to kind of it depends on their age, but dogs are ageless. It doesn't. An old dog will still sniff a young dog, and a young dog will still sniff an old dog, and usually cause mayhem. So then you get into that rapport.
Yes. Absolutely, and that's what it is, and it's connecting with people, isn't it? Building rapport, and then giving them a solution, listening to what they're saying. But thank you. So how are you? Anyway, it's lovely to see you on here tonight.
No, I'm good. Better for being here.
Good. Well, we must have a proper catch up. It's lovely to see you. Yeah. So there are so many ways, aren't there, of striking up conversations. I think because we do tend to use our phones more now, don't we? Messenger, and especially, I suppose, through the pandemic, we've met less people, haven't we, face to face and just out and about. So we've had to sort of take it even more online. Anyone else got any sort of good script or anything they've said to somebody when they've been out and about that's got them into a conversation? Everyone's feeling very shy. Claire, come on, you must have some. You must be chatting to people from time to time. Well, what do you've been doing? Are you still doing your neighbour letters?
I haven't done any for a little while. I did them in the autumn.
Yeah.
So I have, when I've been, I remember I was in Tesco, and I really got chatting to the lady on the till. Really, really, really nice chat. Really nice, happy, smiley, and I used one of yours actually, and I said to her, is this your ideal job? Is this what you really want to be doing? She said, no, not really. And I said, I might have something that would be really great for you. We love people like you who are happy, smiley and chatty. But I did give her a card, and I think really giving a card isn't the right thing. It's a case of asking for the number, and then you can follow through, rather than putting the onus on them to contact you. And I think that's a skill I still need to develop.
Yeah, but absolutely. That's the best way. But to be honest, it's all about having the business at the front of your mind, because if you're really looking for opportunities and thinking about who you can speak to and who you can connect with, whether you're online or offline, that's what it's about. So, yes, you can always improve your skills, and you can get better at saying that. A good thing to say is, I haven't got any cards on me today at all. I've just given out my last card. If you want to pop your number in my phone, I'd love to give you a call when it's more convenient, and we can have a chat. I mean, that's the ideal way of doing it, but it doesn't always come like that. But I honestly think it is like the law of attraction stuff, is that, if you are actively seeking and looking for opportunities and putting in the effort, you will find stuff starts to fall in your lap. It always does, but it won't if you're not opening the doors yourself. What do they say? If you knock on 20 doors, the universe will open 5 for you, or something like, you've got to be actively putting the effort in, and then things will start to come back to you. And I think that's what this is all about now, really. It's just trying to, if you want to, trying to now up the activity, almost up the sense of urgency a little bit, even if it is just from now to Power Up. Where could you be? So Power Up is what used to be Express Day, for those that don't know. So it's now called Power Up. It's still the middle of March in Telford. Where could you be by then if you make a decision today to up your activity? Will you be happy? Will you be happy in the audience at Power Up on today's activity? On what you're doing right now? Will you sit in the audience there and feel really happy and proud of yourself? Or will you sit in the audience thinking, that's annoying because I could have done that little bit more? So that's all I would say to you. It's up to you what you decide to do, but however you want to be. There's people on here, 2 people on here, particularly 3 people on here, 4 people on here, loads of you on it, but there's people on here that are close to quite a big promotion that could do it in that time. but only if they really roll their sleeves up. There's all of you in here could be, you know, probably at your next level, you know, by that event if you wanted to. And for me, it is all about just wanting to sit there and know that I've done my absolute best. You know, even if it's not about getting to those, I would have a job to get to my next promotion by Power Up. But, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about who can you help, isn't it? Who else can you help? How proud will you be if one of your team members is going across the stage at Power Up? How proud will you be if you know that you've helped somebody, you know, change their life? Think about Epsom, which is, you know, again, a really achievable date in June. How are you going to feel being there? But more importantly, how will you feel if a lot of your team are there because you've stepped up to help them? Because that's the best, you know, that's the best feeling. It's all very well qualifying for stuff yourself. The best feeling is when you've got team members there as well, you know, and you're sharing that with other people that you've helped, because that really is worth it then. If anybody's looking for a book, I'll ask if anyone's got a book recommendations. I was just going to mention again, I know most of you on this call will have heard about this book, but not all of you. And again, for the new people that might be watching this on replay, The Consistency Chain in Network Marketing is a really, really good read. If you want to just start to get the business on track consistently for you and working for you. And Go for No as well is another really good read. If you just want to get your head around the fact that not everybody's going to say yes, and that's perfectly okay. You know, I'm perfectly okay with the fact that 74 people today have completely ignored me or said no to me. I really am okay with that. I am not going to lose a wink of sleep because my diary is now full because I took some activity. And in fact, people are coming back all the time, actually.
Yeah, I just read that Go for No. Once I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. It's brilliant.
And the other one, Jodie's on it. I don't know if Jodie can speak. Rejection Proof is another really good book for. Yeah, there she's just. Oh my God, that's really spooky. She was typing that as I was saying it, and I hadn't even seen that in the thing. So yes, I know that that is a really, really good book. Jodie, hello. Sorry, but I hadn't seen you type that, and I was just about to say I know Jodie liked Rejection Proof. That was so spooky. We're telepathic, but anyway, tell us why did you like that book so much? And hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's actually the first book that I give to my new partners because it really sets the scene as like the worst that's going to happen is no. And it's been really useful, I think, to the new partners. So it's brilliant, and it's true story.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. Yeah. It's easy to read, isn't it? It's fun to read. Yeah. It's a nice book to read as well. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Thank you. Beach Money is one of my favorites because I love the fact Jordan Adler, you know, the struggle really, it's the struggle and then the victory, isn't it? Because it was 12 years in network marketing before he started to make some real money. And, you know, and then he drew out his dream life and all that sort of thing. So that was really, you know, I love that. And The Magic of Thinking Big, I'm not sure that I've read that. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if I have. I know it's talked about all the time, but I don't know if I have actually read that book. So I will.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah, I think I've got it in the
it's
language.
It's all about basic mindset and how you live your life.
Barry's got his there, look. Yeah. Yes, okay, I will read it. Barry, how are you? How's your neck? How are you getting on?
I'm getting on all right.
Oh, bless you. You're always. Poor Barry had a fall and has fractured his neck, and that was only about a week ago, wasn't it, Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Bless you. Okay, so what I'd like to say, obviously keep in touch with the sort of things you'd like covered on these evenings, all right? And we will, obviously it'll be a lot more sort of recognition for the people that are not in my team that are very welcome and coming on to this. Please do let me know if there's anyone you would want recognised, all right, at this meeting on the second Monday, because obviously I won't get to see what your guys are doing, so I won't know it generally. Joe, well done on your partner today, and no pressure, but you know, qualified distributor as soon as you can. Joe's very, very close to senior team leader. I'm very excited about that. You're muted, but you can unmute yourself if you want to say something.
Yeah, exciting times, isn't it?
Yeah. Is she so is the fast start all booked in and all that sort of thing? Just shout if you need any help, basically, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be back to work tomorrow for the fast start, so yeah, we'll get on with that. And I got another one circling.
Okay, good. Good. No, it's all good. It's all very exciting times. So thank you for giving up your evening tonight. It's not going to be a long one tonight. Has anyone got anything to add or any questions or anything before we wrap up? So I'm going to find some funny scripts and conversations for you now, and I'll put some pictures in the Facebook group. All right. But I'm only doing that as long as you share as well. I'll share if you share. Okay. Claire, did you want to say something?
Do we want to do a thing tomorrow evening, those of us who are in the book club? Do you want to watch another video tomorrow night and chat about it, or are you happy with just tonight's meeting? So that's just a question you can answer on WhatsApp if you want to.
Yeah, okay, I'll just have a think. I'm trying to get some appointments.
And for those that are listening to this that don't know, Claire runs a brilliant book club where they discuss books and personal development videos and all sorts of things in there. And is that normally a Tuesday now, Claire?
Well, it was the first one last week. Yes, possibly a Tuesday or maybe a Wednesday. Tuesday's probably actually better for me, so I'll say Tuesday.
We have the Leadership Academy on a Wednesday.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, just to remind you for now. So that's 7:30 on Wednesday. So that's good. So that's for all future team leaders and above. So if anyone wants to join us on Wednesday night, you're very welcome.
I think to dissect some of the incredible speakers we've listened to is a good thing, because I was trying to write and listen, and I'm a very slow writer. And people pick up different things when they hear them again, which we didn't pick up the first time round. Celia, I'll private message you actually, but a couple of the speeches over the kickoffs, it would be great if they could be on UW Tube.
Okay, I'm sure they will be. A lot of that was recorded anyway, so yeah, I'm sure there will be recordings of
seriously mega. And to see so many young people,
yeah,
with the board being predominantly fairly young and the new young people coming through, I think the company has a very, very bright future.
Yeah, no, it is really exciting.
Us knackered old gits have got nothing to worry about.
So it's up to us now, 2022. We've got to make it work, make it happen. And so actually we'll have 2 more of these before Power Up. So that's how soon it is. That's frightening actually, isn't it? So it's flying by this year already. So don't waste it. Make sure you make it count. Make this evening count, because you're never going to get it back. So have a great one, everybody, and I will catch up with you all soon. See some of you on Wednesday. All right, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.